All right, welcome back to The Devil in Detail, the Grendel Reread podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Ben. It's our 59th episode. We're going to jump to the present. This Wednesday's release, Grendel Devil's Odyssey, number 8. All right.
Yeah.
The last issue of the series.
The grand finale of the brand new Devil's Odyssey. Hell yeah, Ben. But before we do that, what you been up to, bud? It's been a couple weeks here, actually.
It's been quite some time. I don't even remember where we left off. We all got I feel like we all got Tony McMillan's Attaboy.
Yes,
we
did.
We all got it in our mailboxes, it would seem, within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
Really,
amazing book.
I saw that you got it, and I said, how the fuck did it get out to California from Boston before me? I went outside and it was waiting for me.
Oh, that's awesome. He must have put them all in the mailboxes on one day. It was amazing.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Such a good book.
We did that. We're putting the finishing touches on Arcane.
Yeah, man.
Looks pretty cool.
I want everyone to know, Ben, he runs a tight ship, and it's got to be right before it goes out, man, which I respect.
Endless notes.
Hey, you can't fault you for that, man. It's got to be right. I agree. I'm one who puts it out, and I always find problems, after it goes to print, so.
Well, I think one thing that's happening right now is that there's a plan for consecutive things to go to print. And right now we're thinking about how to kind of brand it all together so that one leads back to the other, leads back to the website and all that.
Yeah, you're right.
So for more impresario,
Yeah, it's awesome.
What'd you do this week?
Oh, man. Well, big thing on Tuesday, we had, I published a comic for the band Babe Lord.
All right.
And it finally came out. I've been talking about it here on the show a bunch. The fold out came out amazing.
Hey.
Yep. Comics Wellspring is where I printed it. And man, it came out amazing. They're super happy. And I went to see their show on Tuesday, and it was phenomenal. I had never seen them live before. It was so good. So that was a lot of fun. That was the first time in a very long time where I've been out till like 4 a.m, which was crazy. I found myself with Manus at like IHOP at like 4 a.m. It was wild. So that's been really fun. I've just been finishing up on that. The Ween Zine sold out completely. It was crazy, man. And I've learned a lesson here about media mail. Many people got their Ween Zines cut open to see if it was like legit media mail, and then they taped them back shut, but many of them weren't taped back well, and so people just got empty envelopes. So I ended up having to do a second print, not only because people wanted more, but because I sold out and was unable to replace those ones that the USPS lost. So that just goes to show that media mail is not for comics, I guess, and they'll mess. And frankly, they treated them terribly. Every single one of them looked like they were run over by a car. So that sucked, man. But so just when you're shipping out your comics, know your pricing on shipping and do it right. Even if you have to if you have to do $5, people want your book, they'll pay the $5 to get it shipped safely to you. So I've learned that lesson the hard way now, and I will no longer be using media mail. So the second print's coming soon. So if you didn't get a Ween Zine, holler at me. And I've been working hard on the Grendel Zine, the promotional zine that we're doing for the cast here. So it's going to be amazing. Ben and I have seen the cover. The cover we did, it's an homage cover, and it's freaking amazing. Shout out Ben Perkins, who did it. So sick. And if you want to get one of them, just leave a 5-star review or a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Follow us on YouTube. We've had a lot of people reach out since we've done it. We've got 2 new reviews, so they'll definitely be going out very soon. Sweet. I think that's it. Anything else, Ben?
It's Grendel.
Let's get Grendel in.
It's Grendel.
Privat Grendel.
It's like the devil is my best friend. On the roads with the pen to the fork end, or till time end. Like Orion, Jupiter, my kin, bloodline private. We control the whole shit. The wolf won't beef, then we feast off the rip. Behold the devil in detail. Behold the devil in detail.
All right, we are back. Another great intro. I mean, the same great intro, but it just happened again.
The same great intro.
Thank you, Menace and Laserdisc. Here we go. All right, let's get into Devil's Odyssey. This amazing finale. So we're gonna share the screen again.
Can I make a confession to you?
Sure.
I don't think I read the 3rd and 4th issue of this book.
Really?
I know I looked at the pictures. I always look at the pictures.
That much we know. Because you felt like you missed something.
Like if you put my feet to the fire, I could tell you about like the weird, the alien dicks and whatever. But I don't think I read the issues.
And so you feel like you missed out, or that you.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like the final 4 issues are kind of each one sort of better than the last. And this one, you said it before I did, might be the best issue in the series. Not only with like, I like where the story goes a lot, but like Brennan's coloring, like there's parts of this where it's like he's come out the other end of like a trip, and
Crucible, perhaps.
And yeah, he's well.
In Odyssey,
it looks like there's not going to be any color, and like.
Oh yeah, true.
Like it's all rusted. But enough about that. This is a very cool cover with the.
Oh man.
Like the cosmic and the like weird industrial.
Yeah, and again, Brendan has been posting about the coloring, and so we'll talk about that a little bit throughout. We pick up here Grendel's Odyssey again. Like I love how while the story is consecutive, there's still spaces of time between each issue, and we kind of like jump right in the action, man. It's great. Mission summary: Grendel Prime and Sigma 7's journey through the stars reaches its conclusion. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, that's basically what I said.
This week we designed a page, an inside front cover page like this for Arcane.
We did.
And it looks like this one. It looks good like this one does.
Yeah, it does. Shout out Sam Royale, man. Royale.
He killed it.
Yeah.
All right, so it drops you right in.
Oh man, I meant to look. It says this issue is dedicated to the incredible science fiction novels of Ian M. Banks. I meant to look that up.
Yeah, Matt's brought him up before. He wrote a series called The Culture, I think.
Interesting.
That's all I can tell you.
All right. Well, we'll have to look that up a little bit more and bring you back. So we wind up right here, and the gravity has gone out on the ship, and everything's flying through, and Grendel's upside down, and they're like, "What's happening?" And like you can see in this bottom panel, you can see his dick laser, kind of hanging off. Don't forget that he had an awesome dick laser.
His dick laser?
Dick laser. Dick Laser. He's a lawyer out of Jersey. So if you need any issues, just call Dick Laser. No. His lightsaber. Remember he had that like dick lightsaber? Yeah. It's like hanging off this thing there. Anyway, the magnetic gravity field has gone out, and so they're like, "What's going on?" All right, so they're hurling through space, and they're like, "We can't stop. We can't stop the warp speed. We're like caught,
not in control."
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he's like, headed where? And Siggy's like, I can't even tell. Like far beyond the limits of our available star charts, heading into the Delta Quadrant. Perhaps
this dick shaped spaceship looks great.
Yeah,
there's a lot of different. There's like ink, like parallel lines in Prismacolor.
Yeah, dude.
And then like Brennan drops in these shadows like over the dick eyes. And it all like plays together really well.
Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
very,
cool.
Very cool. Yeah, the windshield looks super fucking cool.
Love it. Just yeah, like amazing work. Obviously, like the spread on this with the like warp speed lines, like they posted the art, and again, that's full like knockouts, like Brendan was talking about. Like Matt laid in a lot of those lines, and then Brendan knocked them out with color. All right, so yeah, of course, Prime's got a bunch of different, tech, like he's got like magnets on his boots, so he does that. He gets down on the ground, he cangs down, and they're like, "What's happening?" So the hyperdrive disengages, all systems are back online, and they're like, "Okay, let's regroup here." And I love Matt's like, it's almost Kirby Crackle, but not. It's like Kirby cross hatching kind of stuff going on in space.
It reminds me of looking through a screen door where there's fireflies in the backyard.
Oh, nice imagery, Ben. I miss fireflies. I don't think they have Mount West Coast, do they? I would know. I don't know if you would.
The underlighting on the dick ship is great. It's a kind of that plum color that Brendan likes.
Yeah. It appears that we have company, and this page turn is huge. Incredible. Dun, dun, dun! Or more accurately, an armada.
This is crazy.
Yeah, dude.
I would never want to draw. This is like my worst nightmare.
I know. Ships are hard, man.
This is like a Kirby or a Simonson kind of thing, and I think Matt does a very nice job with it.
Huge.
It still has sort of like parts of like the Edsel car. Like there's still like 20th century, mid 20th century modern car design, like how in Christine Spar there would be the Volkswagen Beetle flying car and stuff like that. There's like grills and stuff.
Yeah, I love that. And there's different shapes of ships too. There's like Star Trek 4, like the probe in Star Trek 4, these like cylindrical guys, and then there's like these atomic atoms looking. And Brennan said that he was like, on his Facebook post, he said there was no way to just like do it quick. He like literally had to render each and every single one of those, ships and color them, each one as it was. That's a hell of a job there, man.
Yeah, it looks good. I sometimes, yes.
Good.
Yes, good. Great.
Yes, that is correct, sir. All right. So the next page. Okay, so we're starting to learn who the Armada is, what's going on here. Siggy's like, that's the flagship. They're hailing us, and like a formidable force and size, and this kind of comes up out of nowhere, I guess. Like this isn't really on their view screen, or is it? Maybe it is on their view screen.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. I really like how it's a face illuminated from, I guess, like directly above. It's hard to, like, with the eyes all like shadowed out.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you can sort of see where the hologram wraps around on the other side.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, like over top of the parts of the ship. Yeah. And it's like, your presence is here by our invitation, so any denial of hostile intent need not be extended. Like, okay, so they brought them here. They're interested in Prime. He's like, what? He's like, we come in peace, like we're not hostile here. So what's going on?
This reaction shot at the bottom of Prime is one of the few like shots where Matt and Brennan are really, really singing. Like there's so much mood and atmosphere on those like cast shadows, purple on the left of his eyes.
Yeah.
So cool.
And like actual like emotion coming through the mask somehow, like without doing like this the Deadpool or Spidey thing where like the mask moves, which they never do. Still somehow like emotion comes through in this panel. It's cool.
It's weird because he has this he is dressed like a slasher hero, like a Jason, Freddy, Mike Myers guy, but he's sort of programmed as our hero. and we're all desensitized to how scary looking he is. And you're like, oh, he has feelings inside, you know?
Well, and again, throughout this whole entire period, it seems as though he's come to this like new realization about his existence and his purpose. Like he's come to this like Grendel monk feel, you know?
He has definitely
He's a grunk.
explored. He has explored the boundaries of space and self.
Oh, yes, very much
Great.
so.
Great.
That's the Odyssey. You thought the Odyssey was without, but the Odyssey, my friends, was within.
Yeah, this is really cool. I'm not sure what's going on. I think that the lines are facial hair about to be revealed. I'm not sure what the thing going down the center of his face is.
Who are we talking about? Prime or the like hologram?
It's
Oh, I see
hologram,
on the
dude.
next page. Yeah.
It looks like a Roman helmet he's got on or something like that.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe
Anyway,
that's the divider. Maybe it's move in or something. I'm not sure.
I really enjoyed this part. Once they announced that they're going to be teleporting both of them up, their reaction, teleportation. Oh my! Like that really blew their mind. So I thought that was very, very interesting.
Right,
Like,
because we have yet to see anything like that. Because
Yeah.
every time Prime like jumps down, he solar sails down into a planet or something.
Yeah.
He's like, drone, do something.
Brennan's like teleportation
Yeah, it's
cosmic thing is right on, and
It's so cool.
And the matte like haywire texture kind of thing.
Right.
Really cool.
Yeah, like that's definitely in. Yeah, that's not like a coloring. I would love to see this original page
Yeah,
to just see how that's all
Yeah,
done.
that looks like it's done with a fine pen, maybe.
Yeah, or like a brush pen or
maybe.
something. Yeah, very cool.
Something like that.
All right, so oh yeah, because you can kind of see on this the dude here, if that's who was talking to him, he's got like the sideburns. Yeah.
He's got the crazy turn.
So they appear in this thing, and this culture is giants. They're huge. They're humongous. And sorry, I didn't turn the page there. He's like, transport complete. And you know, they scan them and they're like, please remain calm in the port tunnel. And
yeah, I think what
very cool.
what he says, you're giants, and they basically tell them that the technology used to achieve the teleportation is on such a quantum sophisticated level that you feel small, that your perception of scale is changed. So they're actually the same size relative. This is a nod. This is a nod, I suppose, to Gulliver's Travels.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Maybe, and so that's why Siggy's like Giants Paladin. What do you mean? Because like his perception wasn't affected as he's a computer, as he's a synthetic.
Yeah. This is a hyper advanced galactic federation of people. Yeah. So on the next page, they're all the same size.
So that's a really cool kind of feel there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this spread is freaking so awesome.
Yeah,
just
this guy,
really cool.
This guy's dress is amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
The way it reflects off the ground.
Oh damn, yeah.
Is just like there's all this stuff that Brennan, it sort of feels like it's putting together, like at the tail end of this like candy coated, like you can do whatever you want kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now he's like, it's like a real hero's journey, creative path kind of thing. Dig it.
All right, and so we meet here Morat Gurge and Biziet Sma. I love these names. My comrade Aquila Jace. They are both guests of the Consortium.
Yeah, they're close enough to the Paladin in that they're humanoid, same relative scale, and everyone has floating robot sidekicks. So let's see if we can talk turkey here.
Yes, we are a galaxy-spanning culture comprised of some 30 billion citizens, and both biological and artificial. That's what's like really cool about this thing. There's like a symbiotic relationship between the robots, very much like Prime and Siggy have got going on, but a little bit different because Prime is of himself a robot, or is like a not a robot, I guess. Technically an android? No, technically a synthetic.
A Biorg.
Yeah.
Cyborg.
Of which we find out much more here in the second one, which I think like a lot of this we knew, but we kind of get a little bit of it more fleshed out.
You got to give Brennan huge compliment
Oh my
on this
God,
last
yeah.
panel.
Yeah.
The way that it makes the light coming from this TV drone look like it's splintered or flickering. And
of
then,
like, yeah, different lights
Yeah,
sources like
I feel like
scanning.
Brennan is using like more dry highlights,
Dry lights.
like a white colored pencil sometimes.
Yeah.
And it really sculpts it out. And there are panels in this book that take me to that other Grendel Prime story, the one that's all painted by Matt.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like Matt's like really bold painted stuff.
Yeah. And
When
this
we get
reminds
there,
me
I'll
of
show
some
you.
more. Okay. Exactly. It reminds me more of like Brennan's like solo work, like some of the prints and art that you see him do. He has these type of like more bold, like colored lines like this. I wonder if if he's still doing all this in one layer. Like, remember how he was telling us he does those paintings in like one layer?
I don't know. It's he would talk about chunks. These are like distressed chunks.
Yeah. Brennan, killer.
Very
Next
nice.
page. So we really get like this cross section of Prime. An external shell is a durable weave of solar receptor fibers. And this is kind of cool too, because we think of Prime as like the peak of like technology of planet Earth or whatever. And this is like, level 6 efficiency. Like, is it out of 10? Is it out of 100? You know?
Yeah,
like,
well, for the people, if we also know that the teleportation is going
true.
to blow everyone's mind, and he's level 6 efficiency, then for them he's really advanced.
For these people he's advanced.
These people,
yeah. Oh,
yeah. He is relative. No, he's. I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
Oh, I thought he is
durable. They're impressed by his durability.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But not necessarily by the like technology for them.
It rates a 6. I'm assuming out of 10.
Right. He's got a human brain, spinal stem, and collar, and ocular organs. They're all the only intact biomaterial. So I think I was under the impression, and maybe it showed earlier, but this was like over time he lost it, that he had like maybe even like just the top like Borg Queen amount, like a head and a face and like upper torso. But
I would love to see a story about Orion and this guy before he was a robot man.
That would be sick. And that was hinted at a couple issues ago, like the last issue, right? When he was
when he was recruiting him or whatever. Yeah. I would love to see more of that.
That'd be amazing.
That would be like what's that movie, The Master?
I haven't seen that.
With
okay.
Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix. Great. Okay, this is cool. The drones are more woke than Siggy because they're not Grendel entities.
Right.
From hostile planet Earth.
And they're like individuals
on his behalf.
Right. They're individuals in their own right and treated as such.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? Like Sigma 7, that sounds like an AI designation. Can't you choose your own name? Why do you wear a human facial facade? It's interesting. It's interesting, right?
Yeah, because they're so abstract. They know that they're not people.
They don't need to fake humanity.
Yeah. And Siggy is of Grendel. He is of the Khanate,
right.
Like he and Prime share the mission.
Absolutely.
All right.
And one more time we got to shout Brandon out on this like computer panel kind of background, this circuit board. It's like beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like something out of the Young Animal line.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It is like computer psychedelia. Another page I'd love to see the original pencil art.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Next spread.
So I think what they're telling them here is that like the entire a voice speaks, and it's the voice of like their AI collective god, filtered through all the social media impressions of the 30 billion people, including artificial life forms and stuff like that.
Right.
It's super democratic and super inclusive.
Right.
And
And Siggy's like, why are we here? And they're like, well, to determine, like, to see if Earth is worthy, for us to determine if Earth is worthy to like come into the consortium and be saved.
Right. Because you've been out for, we learned, 30 years. Right. And you've had, as far as we know, 7 issues worth of adventures, 5 different planets or whatever, 5, 6 different planets. And you've gone, if you go any further, it's in the domain of the Federation, basically.
Right, exactly.
The enlightened beings.
Right. And it's like multiple worlds are all part of this consortium, like you said. So as you so crudely put it in the voice ever onwards, the ship's mind. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it is. And they're standing in front of this all-seeing eye, our spacecraft.
What's a really cool touch on this is the pure red that Brendan puts in the ring that sort of cuts through the 2 figures.
Right. It kind of infers a bit more life, as red is like so much linked to like life and blood.
I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like there's so much pink and purple in this, and then the red just kind of like, yeah, it's like here's the potential for threat, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Like, is this good or bad? Because it's got warm and cool. It's like hot. Like that red is like the hottest color. So we don't know. You see, the consortium has been monitoring Earth civilization for millennia, and the results are not encouraging, right? I mean, especially this made me think like, they followed the cycle just as we have, and they're like, Jesus, vampires and this crazy army of that is under the control of a Khan, and you're destroying your planet. And
we've been watching you since we put a probe on you when you launched from Earth. And right. So it becomes the entire series was a test.
Exactly.
As they monitored and judged Earth through its champion.
Right.
This guy.
Exactly.
This monster.
This guy. You should, and then this is an interesting twist that begins here as these robots, as these electronic beings are telling Siggy like, dude, you should stay here. You're one of us. Why don't you stay? And he's like, wait a second. Like, this is not right. Like, if we're allowed to continue, like,
with a touch, Spock disengages his security protocols and gives him free will.
Right. It's crazy. So Siggy's
frees him from his Grendel oath, basically.
Right. Yeah. And then, okay, so then Prime is like, no, dude, like, okay, hold on. And it's interesting because, Prime is getting pulled in all these directions. Like on the last planet, he was like, he tried to completely disassemble their thing because he didn't understand it. And now again, he like, or overstood it instead of understood, and now he's like, wait a second. No, like Earth's legacy depends on our success. You will return us to the bridge, like, so we can continue or suffer the consequences, He
is sworn to the will of the Khan.
You're right.
And to see his sidekick of 30 years, who is programmed to the will of the Khan, like fall, like to see them violate that aspect, because he thinks what he's doing is holy.
Right.
They're violating him. So that's when the lightsaber, you got to pop the lightsaber with the Bernie Moreau squiggle.
And you're right. They see his friend, and then he's just like, and it's again like, you're charged with this thing to save everything, and so anything that stands in the way or thinks it's above that quest, again, a Grendel is bound by duty. And then Siggy's like, Paladin, I don't think you want to do this, bud. Next page. Oof.
Brennan kills it with that pink.
With the pink on the previous.
So good.
Oh yeah. With the knockouts and
this is where like some of these like white highlights look a little like dry, like digital dry, like dry brush or colored pencil even.
Oh yeah, like over top of this the little stuff here or
it's just very it's just he gets it done.
So
never looks better.
Oh man, this is great. So much action, and then I mean they're just like one of the robots just fires some yellow at him, freezes him in containment shield secured, and it's just like done. Please disarm the weapons. And he's like, and Siggy was like saying that's useless. Prime, do not. And that's when Shumagorath here, the giant eye or whatever, says, this race has no chance of peaceful integration. The decision of expulsion is unanimous. Send them back from where they came. Right? Like
let them die on the planet.
I mean, even in the face of possible salvation, Prime decides to fight for his people instead of perhaps engaging in, peaceful diplomacy or something. That's what
she tells him. She said, if you had just tried diplomacy instead of violence, this all would have gone the other way.
Yeah, but he's like, that is not what I'm programmed for, and he tries it again. Like, I do not yield to your conviction. The Grendel Prime never surrenders. Siggy like puts up a shield and he's like, not gonna work, dude. Chill.
I think that shield is the robot's shield.
Oh, they put it around him too.
I think they put it around Siggy.
You're right. The colors match.
He drops like a 0.3 megaton solar nuclear burst.
Right, and that's his like, how we know that he can charge his like solar cells.
Yeah. This last panel is crazy. This is when I was giving my most gushing compliments. I was talking mainly about this panel.
Yeah. And
like Brennan is pushing the mist in and out of focus in some places, it seems.
Wow. Yeah. With highlighting or unhighlighting like that bounding line.
It's the bounding line, like the way it bounces off of when the gradient to the bounding line appears and vanishes. Whew. Really crazy effect.
And like, this is something that a normal colorist wouldn't do. And it's all throughout this spread is like these like paint kind of splotches, this like purple and lighter green, like this to add like sort of a digital painting feel to it. For lack of a better description, it's like, I don't know, it's just really, really good. And the hot and colds and the purples, God, Brennan.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Then there's like this Richard Corbin, Joe Kubert hatching on his crazy leather mask. It's just
this panel is
so hard.
Huge.
Yeah. This is the one that I was like, oh man, like he's coming out the other end of this one with some new tricks.
They really are pulling out all the stops like in this last issue, like really blowing it out.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone goes out and buys both covers and the Comixology. All right. So next spread, here we go. So, and now he's just like, he's like on the ground, like
he's spent.
And I'm spent. He's like, Earth technology is primitive by our standards, dude. Like, just, do you have anything else? Like, is there anything else you want to try?
No, Siggy knows it's now time to just like negotiate the terms of his good deal.
Right.
And they basically tell him, you can join us. You can have all the access to data that you want. And all you have to do is like swear to us, I think.
Right. And they're talking to Siggy, like if he wants to stay, like, and if I stay, might I still, but then, he's not like saying, fuck you, Prime, or anything like that. I'm done with you. He's still like I can still check in on Earth. Like you guys will still, pay attention and we can.
I feel like statistically he sees that this is the way to do it.
Right.
At this point.
And he's looking for more. I mean, Siggy's obviously looking for more in his life
Well, or do you think that maybe it's like maybe I can convince you that Earth is worth saving because I'm of Earth, or is it just like, oh, I'm just curious, like if you're saying fuck Earth, there's nothing I can do about it. I might as well join with you guys.
You know what? No, I do think like, because if he is as bound to the oath and to the con as Prime is, which in every other issue we've been led to believe, then it would make sense that he would take this deal offer to them, but then also try to work on Earth's behalf while Prime returns or leaves.
He's not the creature of ultimate aggression. He's just his robotic sidekick.
Right. But I mean, I think maybe if he were if he were like a person, we might get one of these like you see in a movie, like one of these like, I'm going to stay Prime. Like one of those like knowing winks type of thing.
Right.
To be like, trust me in my decision. I'm still on your side, but like I can like maybe work something here. Interesting.
Let me clarify my hazy memory, Eli. It was that when he accepts, he assumes that there's an oath that you have to swear.
Oh, right.
Because Earth society is consumed with that.
Right.
And they say, nope, welcome aboard. There's no oath.
Yeah, there's no oath. No, welcome. You're now citizen of the consortium.
And Prime sort of reacts to that. It's like,
yeah, he's pissed as
like,
buddy.
if you're like everything that he is built and raised and trained to believe in is all but doomed. Was on the precipice. There's really nothing he can do, and his only friend is seemingly like a turncoat or whatever.
Right, and is taking like the better deal and leaving. Because again, Earth's people are not necessarily his people. Prime, they are, in essence, Prime's people. Prime is a human at his core, and Earth's people are his people. But Siggy, however, is like, but again, he says, I'm not abandoning our objective. I still want the people of Earth to thrive and survive, and maybe through my efforts here, I can still help achieve that end. So it's not a wink. It's a straight up being like, yo. And he even still says Vivat Grendel at the end.
Yeah. So we both think this is in contention for best issue in the series.
Yeah.
This is the best for me. This is the best page in the series. This might be Grendel Prime's best page ever.
Wow, dude. Better than fighting that ape in Africa and shit.
I feel like I can't wait to get back to that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is sort of operating on another level, and it does what the character doesn't always get, which is, changed human character stuff, because it's all behind the facade and all that. Yeah. So Siggy says that achievement of our aims through combat is not a sustainable goal.
Yeah. And
we've learned that on a cosmic level.
Yes.
Right? Because that's the go-to. It's like if you're raised in anger, you turn to anger. That's what they worship over there. And like, we're not about that in the super inclusive consortium. It's, in order to be truly inclusive, you must be intolerant of intolerance.
Yeah.
And
while in some places, like the last planet, their sticks and axes couldn't hurt Prime at all, the universe also holds places where it's switched, and Prime's weapons can't hurt the people at all.
He's a flea.
Yeah.
This goodbye panel, the color and the painting and the cadence it just reminds me of like early Dark Horse, Fantagraphics, like, and then that fully painted Prime story. It's so much fun. Like, for all this stuff, all this like tough love about how you're not programmed in a way that is sustainable. The mission is impossible because the universe doesn't operate by worshiping hatred and aggression.
Right.
And then they have this cute little goodbye moment.
It's so sweet. I will miss your companionship. You have been and always shall be my friend.
So then they send his ass back to Earth, I guess.
Yeah, they do. They just snap him back through the Stargate,
Yeah.
through hyperspace and warp speed.
They back him up, and then he goes through.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Even at full warp speed, it still takes months to reach Earth's location in the Milky Way galaxy. This is kind of some like interesting time setting stuff here.
Mhm.
By our reckoning, it's been just over 30 standard years since our quest first began. But due to the temporal distortion of hyperspace, 478 years have elapsed on Earth.
Does that mean that it takes longer to use hyperspace than to take the local roads? Like what? What the fuck?
I don't know. I guess maybe because they traveled so far. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm that one way versus the other. I'm just breaking balls. All right. So what do we learn back on this?
Just all radio transmissions ceased several years after our departure. So they haven't really heard from Earth for this whole time. They exit hyperspace and he comes back in around and like he can't get anything from Earth either. So
this is a very nice Earth in space, by the way.
Absolutely.
We should say it's really easy to do this not well. So it must be hard to do it the right way. Yeah.
And the ship scans revealed clusters of energy usage centered around former urban centers. But like, there's not like the traces of the war that there was, or seemingly the pollution. But he's like, what about the consortium? They've supposedly had Earth under close surveillance. Like, so why wouldn't they tell him if something like crazy happened? But so then he's like, all right, I guess like Earth is Earth's responsibility. So this next spread again is insane. He does his solar wings to get back down to Earth. I just love again the red versus the blues, like the hot and cold juxtaposition of colors versus like, he's coming into Earth. He does the classic, like an old school water landing.
Now this is Siggy narrating, I believe.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess so, because like he's referring like after that you're on foot. Oh yeah, because I think he still he remains connected to Siggy with like some consortium help or something.
I think that might be what's going on. I think we'd have to backtrack a few pages to sort of see how that.
I think it's this, like, even though I won't be on your side, I can still escort you on your long journey back to Earth. I have uploaded these files to the ship's mainframe as an aid for your return. And then he engages the hyperdrive.
All right, great. So he splashes down just two red parachutes.
I love it. And man, he's on foot, but he's like underwater right here.
Yeah.
So like trudging through this like underwater, almost like graveyard, it looks like.
Yeah.
Ah, so cool.
And you have to wonder if it was a graveyard or if it's just debris underwater.
Right, like a ship's mast or something.
Or... Yeah. I was, because the shark is, oh man, look at the school of fish that Brennan dropped in there.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh man. I'm sure he just jazzed those up. I feel like, I don't know.
And again, this like juxtaposed like circle of Prime taking off his helmet, like the red there too, again, to like kind of denote, I guess, like surprise, or to denote like, oh shit.
Well, there's also, that's where all the cool colors from the water stop. And it just becomes like earth tones and gray.
Literal, yeah. Who knows what state, either civilized or savage to which human society has evolved or devolved. And oh my God, I feel like, man, spoilers ahead. Like, do not go past this part if you haven't bought the ish yet. Buy the ish, catch up, read, and then start this back up. All right. Okay. All right. You're back now. Okay, good. So as we turn the page, pun. Farewell, Paladin. Good luck, no matter what you find. Holy shit.
This is a great page.
Reward for anyone bearing the name or likeness of Grendel by the order of the Necro Lords. And I'm sure we're going to find out more about that.
And look, it looks like there's at least a half a dozen people
Mm-hmm.
running around trying to do Grendel shenanigans. So my guess is that whoever's in this resistance is going to be so excited to see the
Oh
paladin
my God, yeah.
after 500 years.
Right. Like
Yeah.
the Grendels went from the like above ground like military force to now like the underground like.
Oh man.
Oh, this is so sick.
Okay, so 500 years have passed. The paladin has learned that everything that he's done with his entire life is failure on a cosmic level. There's still Grendel resistance against this necro lord society.
Mm-hmm. Oof.
They're going to be pumped, and he doesn't know what he believes in anymore. Oh,
Right.
man.
And like, did he fail like by not finding another planet while like the Grendels were still on top? Did he fail his people, his clan, his Khan? So like, is he gonna feel like this whole reality now is his fault? Oof.
Yeah, this last splash is really great. The light from the sun and from the signage really pops hard.
Oh,
very
man.
very wild ending to the issue.
Yeah.
The series.
And hey man, we had a lot of ideas too. We were like, oh, it's gonna be this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this. We did not see this coming.
It could have been. I was at a point where it could have been Hunter Rose himself could have stepped out from
I
behind
know.
the corner.
I was thinking too, like he went back to Earth, back in time, or something. So it was crazy.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna get like a galactic gig. I thought it was gonna turn into Lobo.
Oh man,
which
sick too.
I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah.
But that's sort of like the first place I was like, maybe it's gonna be that where he has some like someone else's bidding that he has to do.
Yeah. All right, so and that's it until we like the Grendel's Lair. We got a nice letter column. We got some great art. This is Hunter Rose by Craig Simmons. But on the next page, there's a huge shout out to Dan Christensen, who's an amazing American comics artist living in La Rochelle, France. He's the author of the cops and supervillains drama Paranormal, published in Europe by Carabas and coming soon to the American comic shelves from Black Eye Books. Like these are great. These are great Grendels. Like I would love. Kind of reminds me of like what was it, Andy Parks, the one Red, White, and Black, or Black, White, and Red that we one of them that we read. But these are all just really great. The Brian Lee Sung really like he would be perfect for that.
It's great to see people giving love to all the characters because I don't think it's impossible to say, I think it's possible to hope for more comics with these characters that takes the existing story and moves it in the same way that the anthologies or Behold the Devil did for Hunter.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it was probably Batman Black and White that started this type of thing. But then Grendel Black, White, and Red was like the next one for sure. And now it's like there's, Wolverine Black, White, and Blood. There's Grendel, there's like Carnage, Red, White, and whatever. And there's Superman, Black, White, Red, White, and Blue, of which Matt has a story coming out, I think, in the next issue. There's there's Wonder Woman I saw on the stand. So like that type of book is really gaining a lot of steam right now. And so to see Grendel handled by some of the new people on the scene would be so cool. Just like it was in the 90s and 2000s.
There's a few more pages of art in here.
Wow, dude. This Dylan Andrews. That sounds like a kayfabe. That sounds like a dude I recognize.
Really nice. And then the smaller one in the upper right is
very
cool too. Of him giving off his smoke.
Oh yeah, Prime. Who's that one by? Andrew Edge.
Very cool. And then Matt has a page from God and the Devil. Is that what?
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it's signed by Matt and signed by
JKS3.
Yeah. Yes. JKS3. Shout out John K. Snyder.
But the best part of this book is on the next page.
Oh, here we go. Grendel Prime is back on Earth. but this planet won't feel like home anytime soon, or possibly ever again. Grendel Prime's Odyssey leads to the continuation that spans 3 consecutive 4-issue series. Matt, Brennan, and Dave will be back with 12 issues, which will complete the Grendel Devil's Crucible story arc. Matt's next major story arc will consist of 3 series: Grendel Devil's Crucible Defiance, Grendel Devil's Crucible Sedition, and Grendel Devil's Crucible Necrotic. Sick, dude. Yes, we are looking for a lot more Grendel.
That's crazy. Now, I feel like in the past year since we've known this was happening, because Matt told us like after our first episode.
Yeah,
in that podcast.
Yeah.
And I feel like he told us, or whenever we would talk about it, it would be 8 issues. And here it is, 12 issues.
So sick.
He's going to tie it for longest Grendel story. It's also going to make the Paladin have the most single issues of any Grendel.
Nice.
And then I love how it's not only is it longer, but it has a more a unique structure to it. With we're gonna have 3 4-issue arcs and just laying. Awesome. I enjoy that, and it's sort of a testament to Matt being like, okay, just like with the ongoing Grendel book, like when it's time to change, let's rearrange.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's time to rearrange.
Really, I wonder. Well done, Wagners. This is great Grendel stuff. Thank you,
man. So good. And you know, I mean, Matt he's not changing up the art team or anything like that, like they used to do, because like, you know, now he's more focused, I guess, on Grendel. But you know, even if there's like a fill-in issue or something like that, it would just still be cool to see like someone's take. I just love that too. But obviously Matt and Brennan are like, you know, killing it.
Yeah. Last I remembered was it sounded like after Devil's Crucible, there's potential for a new creator-owned book.
Ooh, now that. Oh, by Matt. Yeah, I think he did.
So we'll see. So everyone stay busy and good. And we'll talk about more comics when they come out.
Absolutely. Ben, it's always a pleasure talking Grendel with you. Everyone who's still listening, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Get that zine when it comes out, which is going to be very soon. And yeah.
The zine is crazy. Don't underplay the zine, Eli.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's going to be
really,
very cool.
It's going to be an in-demand item.
I know.
For all you completists.
And yet it will not be for sale. It can only be acquired through shamelessly plugging the podcast.
5 stars. It's a different kind of currency for sure.
Exactly. So yeah, just give us 5 stars, leave a review, subscribe on YouTube, and tell your friends. Get them reading Grendel. Another really cool thing about this thing has been a lot of people reaching out to us saying like, where do I start? How do I get into Grendel? Like, you know, where do I begin? So Dark Horse, if you're listening, put that omnibus back in print, volume 1. I don't think it's in
print, oversized.
Yes, exactly. Man, and we need an artist edition.
Yeah, IDW artist edition would be amazing.
Oh my god, that'd be insane. All right, y'all. So for this week, Vivat Grendel and keep on Grendelin.
Great.
Next week. Oh, till next week when we start Bernie Moreau's Killer Run.
Whoa.
All right, later, y'all.